In this video, I'm going to walk you through Framer using what's on my screen from the workspace to publishing so that you can follow along even if you're brand new. So we'll start in the workspace toward the key menus and then jump into the editor to see how main tools fit together. And stick around because I'll also point out a few simple steps or tips as we go so that you can move faster right away. On my screen, I'm in the All view. I'm tapping New Project in the top right to jump straight into the editor. And then Framer takes me to a blank canvas. And at the bottom, there's a small bar with the arrow tool, the hand tool for panning, a comment icon, a night mode toggle, and a button to browse plugins like Workshop, Google Sheets, and Pixels. And if I want to browse everything, I tap Browse All, and in a moment, I'll get a complete layout so we don't start from scratch. And on the left, there are three tabs: Pages, Layers, and Assets. So Pages is where I add and manage pages like Home and About. Layers shows every element inside the current page so it's easy to select and rename things. Asset is my library for images, logos, and files that I can drag into the canvas. A small tip that pays off later: I will rename key layers while I build so edit takes seconds, not minutes. And on the top left, I click Insert. So this is where I find sections, which are pre-made blocks that I can drop in, and elements, which are basic building blocks like text, buttons, and images. Start with Wireframer to generate a page structure. And on my screen, I can choose personal page, landing page, blog post, changelog page, teaser, resume, or portfolio. I'll type this prompt: a personal portfolio for a freelance PowerPoint designer named None. Clean, modern, hero with CTA, 3 featured products, client logos, testimonials, contact form, fact, and footer links. And the Framer builds the layout from that prompt. And give it a moment, and then I will see 3 versions side by side: desktop, tablet, and phone. So that means I designed once and stay responsive from the start. And also a quick reminder: most visitors are on phones, so I keep checking the mobile frame as I work. Now let's customize. So every section is editable, and I can add more sections anytime. So for images, I click an image area to select it. In the right sidebar, I scroll to fill and open it. I can also adjust color fills or switch to an image fill. I click choose image to pick from my files, or open plugins and choose a source like Pexels to insert stock photos without downloading. I also pick an image and it drops straight into the design. And I repeat this for the rest of my image. So for text, I click any text, then in the right sidebar, I open the text settings. I type my content and adjust font, size, weight, line height, and color until it matches my style. For the facts section, I select it, then in the right sidebar, I find the accordion settings and edit question 1 and answer 1, question 2 and answer 2, and then so on. I also add, remove, or reorder items to fit my content. And if I want to add more structure quickly, I go back to Insert. Sections gives me hero areas, features, testimonials, and footers that I can drop in and flip to light or dark. And navigations gives me a header with logo and links. Menus are link groups and drop downs that I can attach to the header or footer. If spacing feels uneven, I use a section preset for first and then tweak padding instead of dragging each element around. If I need real content that updates, I open CMS. Collections are content types like blog posts or projects, and fields are the data inside them like title, image, and description. The CMS icon in the top bar lets me connect layers to those fields so my page updates when I add new items. So here's a short version: design once, fill many times. So for smaller building blocks, I open elements. Icons include set like iconic, phosphor, hero, feather, meteor, material, Basicons, Flowbyte, Nonicons, and Sargon. Media lets me add images and GIFs. Embed video from YouTube or Vimeo, and use Latte for animation. I can also embed audio from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. So forms give me inputs, text areas, checkboxes, and submit buttons so I can capture leads. Interactive add tabs, accordions, sliders, and other pieces that reveal content. Social gives me embeds and follow buttons. Utility helps with spacer and dividers to control layout. Creative adds visual elements for extra style. A tiny time saver. So a single spacer from utility often fixes messy gap faster than adjusting margins everywhere. Next, to insert are layout tools like frame, rows, columns, grid, image, and video. So frames are containers. Rows and columns keep content aligned and spacing consistent across breakpoints. And grid gives precise placement. Image and video add media instantly. If I want a clean layout quickly, I rely on rows and columns instead of notching items by hand. And in the Victor icon, there are shape tools like rectangle, oval, polygon, star, and path. So these are handy for badges, backgrounds, mask, and simple icons. A small design idea. A soft shape behind a headline can make a hero section feel more polished without using any heavy images. And when I'm done with my first pass, I click the play or preview button at the top. I review the desktop version, then switch to tablet and phone to make sure spacing and typography feel right on each set. And all set, I click publish. Framer shows me site's domain, and I click it to open the live publish website. And if I need a custom domain or higher limits, I can upgrade later. So to go back to the dashboard, I tap the Framer logo with the down arrow and choose the workspace dashboard. And now that you've seen the main work, building, previewing, and publishing, let's store the other areas quickly so that you know where to manage things. And back in the all view, all project live here. So each card is a project I can reopen, rename, duplicate, invite someone to, or archive using the three dots. And if I want to organize, I tap new folder in the sidebar, type a name, and tap done. And an archive is where hidden projects sit so they don't clutter to the main list. So in my screen, it says no archive projects. All projects will be listed here. If I need to move something there, I go back to all, open the three dots, choose archive, and confirm. And then Framer shows a message that it will be moved to the project, to the workspace archive for all my workspace members, and unpublish its sites. So I'm opening account now. So in profile, you set your name, photo, and email. So in workspaces, you can view the workspaces that you belong to and switch between them. So in sessions, you can see active logins and sign out of your devices that you don't use anymore. And don't miss this part because it's really important for security when you use shared computers. I'm going into settings and I'll explain this quickly. So invites let you copy an invite link or invite by email and choose roles. So member shows everyone in the workspace and their access level. So plans show your current plan and upgrade options. So permission controls who can do what inside the workspace. So font is where you upload or manage your fonts. Details holds the workspace name and basic info. Simple and clear so that you can keep moving. Next, I'm opening updates. So this is where Framer posts new features and improvements. So in my screen, the new update right now in September 17, 2025 is introducing fit image, a new sizing option unique to Framer. So in most design tools, images have a fixed width and height so that you set on the canvas, which means you need to match the aspect ratio of your frame to image source. So this is good for you if you want to know the latest updates Framer has. So checking this page helps you catch helpful tools without hunting through menus. And here's also something most people don't know about this. A quick look at updates before a build can give you a new feature that replaces a long workaround. So I'm opening contacts now. This page is where you can get help. Product support connects you with an expert. If you want help with billing, you go to billing support. This fixes account or billing issues. In emergency support, this is urgent help when your site's down. Talk to Sales lets you work with their team on enterprise solutions. And if you're running a live site for clients, bookmark this page so you know exactly where to go. And at the top left, I'm tapping the down arrow next to my workspace. Because in here, you can add another workspace, explore workspace templates, and switch it to night mode. And if you work late, night mode makes the UI easier in your eyes. And later in this video, I'll share a tiny layout tip that helps you keep spacing clean across pages. Now we're going to create a new project. So I'll go back to all. On the top right corner, you will see a new project button. So tap on that. Now we're going to talk about the plan. I'm opening pricing and I'll start with personal. Personal plans are for individuals. Mini is for small landing pages with a low monthly price and a custom domain option. Basic gives you more pages and bandwidth with features like password protection. Pro lifts the limits even more with more pages and more CMS collections for bigger sites. So this is perfect when you want to grow a portfolio or a content site without running into caps. And here's also a simple hook for you. Choose the smallest plan that fits your current needs. You can always move up when traffic grows. And after personal comes business. Business plans are for teams and bigger projects. Launch gives you a higher page counts, more bandwidth, and more CMS collections so a startup can go live smoothly. Scale increases those numbers for a larger content and traffic. Enterprise adds custom limits, custom security, and direct support for companies that need stricter controls. And if you handle multiple editors, high traffic, or strict requirements, business is the safer path. To wrap up, you see all the view on my screen for managing projects, the archive where you store old work, and the exact message you'll see before archiving. And how new folder lets you organize by name. You learned what profile, workspaces, and sessions do inside account. You saw a short explanation of settings with invite, members, plans, permission, fonts, and details. You also checked updates and the new Fit Image feature from September 17, 2025, which is great for keeping up the Framer news. You also visited Contact to know where the product support, billing support, emergency support, and talk to sales live. You use the My Workspace arrow to add another workspace, try templates, and switch to night mode. You also created a new project from all, enter the editor, hit the welcome panel, use the bottom tools and plugins, control zoom, and explored pages, layers, and assets. You also opened the plus menu to use sections, navigation menus, CMS collections, and fields, and elements like icons, media, forms, interactive, social, utility, and creative. You tried the wireframer and saw the desktop, tablet, and phone layouts. You added frames, rows, columns, grid, image, and video. You tuned styles with the T panel and used shapes like rectangle, oval, polygon, star, and path. You also checked the collections icon, previewed, published, returned to dashboard, and compared personal and business plans. And with these steps, you can start building in Framer with confidence. Keep your workspace clean and publish a site that works on every screen.